This information about how a taxi charges will lead to us forming a step graph. Taxi charges $3 on a set fee. It's called a flag fall of $3, and that's charged as soon as the taxi begins to move. Even if you only go for 1 metre, you still charge $3. Now, it says that each time the taxi covers 500 metres, an additional 50 cents is charged. So that means for distances of between 0 and 500 metres, the charge is going to be $3. So you could say, here's $3 here, and as soon as the taxi starts to move, you charge $3. Travel 100 metres, $3, 200 metres, $3, 300 metres, $3, 400 metres, $3. What you're actually getting is a whole line of points here, where anything from 0 to 500 metres, the charge is $3. But if you travel more than 500 metres, the charge suddenly jumps up and you charge an extra 50 cents. So that's $3, that's $4, it'll jump up here and you'll be charged $3.50. Now you're charged the same $3.50 for any distance of between 500 metres and a kilometre. You still charge $3.50. It's only when the distance gets to a kilometre that the charge will jump up again another 50 cents. And you'll be charged $4 then for any distance which is between 1 kilometre and 1 kilometre 500 metres. Then at 1.5 kilometres, the taxi meter clips over again and you charge another 50 cents. And so the charge keeps on going up by 50 cents every time you travel 500 metres. And so the pattern of charge is going to look a little bit like this. Now, there's one more thing that we have to be a little bit careful with our graph here. What about if the distance is exactly, say, 1 kilometre? Well, let's just go right back to the start of the graph, and if we were travelling exactly 0 metres, I guess they're not going to charge us at all. It's only when the taxi begins to move they're charging us. So I don't really want this point to be on the graph. Now, if I don't want a point to be on the graph, I'm going to indicate it by an open circle. I think if you went exactly 500 metres and not a centimetre further, they would charge you exactly $3, not $3.50. It's only when you go more than 500 metres do they charge you extra. So I want to include this point on the graph. So for exactly 500 metres, I want to say the charge is going to be $3 and not $3.50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to indicate that with a closed-in, coloured-in point to say that point is on the graph. For 500 metres, the charge is $3. This point I'm going to put with an open circle to indicate that for 500 metres it is not equal to $3.50. Only when you go for more than 500 metres, even for 1 metre more than 500 metres, then it will jump up and the charge will be $3.50. So I can include closed and open circles on the end of each of these segments. A closed circle means that point is part of the graph, it's included. An open circle means that point is not part of the graph. So for example, for exactly 1.5 kilometres, you should be charged $4 according to this graph.